Oh, hey! Ugh. Hello.
Hi, pilots. We are there.
I started with a
It's fine. They don't need to know that. You could just edit it out.
Yeah, I could. Okay. Co-Pilots podcast. We've done it again. You know what we've done, don't you?
What,
I mean, I know
you mean-
I know you know what we've done.
You mean met up and see each other IRL
And not
and
recorded.
done nothing?
We were too busy. We were very, very busy. We played a lot of Rocket League.
Yeah, and we went to see Infinity War.
Oh my god!
I mean, not to like date when we recorded this, but we saw Infinity War opening weekend. This is coming out in June.
That's only okay, like the other end of June. I was gonna say it's only a month away, but
No, it's pretty much like 2 months.
sweet. Well, hello from the past.
Do you remember when Infinity War was new?
I'll always remember when Infinity War was new because it.
Do you remember when we'd only seen it once?
Yeah, it coincided with the worst week of work I've ever had. That's not true, actually, but in this job it is. I'll very quickly just say, I don't know if I've actually said in this, but I work as a gardener. I cut a lot
That
of shit
has
down.
come up before.
Yeah, and on last Tuesday, so earlier, I got to the yard where we keep all our tools and our vans and stuff to find that some pricks broken into our yard, broken into our container, nicked all our power tools and my van and a ride-on mower and some other mowers, which was not helpful because now we're still dealing with the aftermath of it. Like, we've got a whole set of new tools. I got my van back somehow, and we now have a new yard, but it's just all up in the air at the minute. So I was so happy to come up to London last weekend because I was like, I just need to fuck off.
Yeah. And you turned up, and we basically drank beer all weekend.
That's all we did. We ate a lot of white chocolate as well.
Yeah, and a lot of
Bacon. We ate a lot of pig.
Everything we ate was in
Massive
some sort of bun.
quantities.
So we had those burgers on Friday.
Oh, they were good.
Then those bacon and sausage sandwiches on Saturday that meant we never had to eat again for the rest of the weekend.
Oh man, that was
'cause
good.
after we had those sandwiches, you just didn't eat anything until, like, I guess you got back to Southampton.
No, it legitimately was until we got back, and I can't even remember what. And then yeah, we had some friends over, and I can't even remember what we ate, but it wasn't loads because I was still full. So, but yeah, they were really good. We did eat a lot of meat and drank a lot of beer and saw Avengers, which was great. It was really, really, really good, and it was a lovely weekend.
Yeah. Even if I did keep saying that you should leave.
Yeah, that was a new one. Just at every opportunity. Yeah, this would be better if you just weren't here. All right, cheers. So that's a little update of what's going on, or what was going on 2 months ago.
But if we had recorded a podcast IRL, we would have been talking about Riverdale and the Mist.
Which one would you like to start with? Because they're actually a lot more similar than I thought they were going to be.
See, I thought it kind of went the other way, that they weren't, apart from like the mystery, like the fact they both contain, the whole plot is a mystery, not that similar.
Do you think the Mist is short for Mystery? Ooh.
If it is, that is some lazy titling.
You leave Steve alone. He does good stuff and also bad stuff, but mainly good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we should probably just jump into the Mist, really, shouldn't we?
No, very much the opposite. We should stay away from the Mist because in the Mist, weird things happen.
Yeah. Well, for me, the Mist is weird because I haven't read the book. I don't think I've seen the film either.
The film has one of the bleakest endings that a film could possibly have. It's
is that the ending where the mist...
Careful. Oh, fuck it. We give spoilers all the time.
We're spoiling a film.
Yeah, from 2008, I think.
And bearing in mind that we both agree that 6 months is really sort of the end of you can be annoyed about spoilers.
2007, so we're talking literally 11 years ago.
Is that... And also, I don't know if this is going to spoil the ending, because I don't know if it's actually that film. But is that the one where he kills his family and then the mist clears?
Yep. He shoots his son, and I can't remember if it's his girlfriend or just someone he meets in the shop. But apparently the book doesn't end like that. I've just read.
Interesting. So in the book, does, like, once the mist descends, do they all just sort of stay put?
Well, I don't know about the book. I've not actually read the book, but in the film, yeah, the mist descends and it's basically like Night of the Living Dead. So like it's just in this one shop. There's a whole group of people. It's actually because it's directed by Frank Darabont, and it was the last thing he did before he went on to do The Walking Dead. So there's a lot of Walking Dead actors in it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Toby Jones is in it as well. Anything Toby Jones is in, Toby Jones is fucking brilliant in. So, yeah, okay. Well, onto the TV show then. What do we start with? We start with a soldier who can't remember who he is. So that was immediately me like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I always forget that your like pet hate in TV shows is the
amnesia. I just cannot stand it. It's so lazy.
I mean, I think what I found weird about it is that it doesn't seem like the mist does make people forget who they are.
No, well, as far as the mist goes, as the mist I understand it, it's Lovecraftian. It's deliberately and definitely influenced by Lovecraft, which I guess could make people lose their minds, but it's more like... But this is the thing, the film, In the Mist, is... well, there's a whole like gang of monsters, and they're sort of Lovecraftian monsters, so there's a lot of weird tentacles and weird shapes and, you know, that sort of stuff. And I'm not sure if the TV show will go the same way. But we don't see any monsters, do we, in this? It's just literally the mist descends, and anyone who's in it, you don't actually see anything kill them.
No. What... The thing, I rate that as like as something to have in a TV show where you just go, yeah, no, they go in there, they die. We don't need to see how. Because it's the same thing with like old Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus new. Old one's just kind of like a, hey, here's a sound, and whereas the new one's like, here's a meat hook going through a person. It's like, I actually imagine it to be a lot worse than that if you just played me the sound.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think when you fill in a lot of you fill in the blanks yourself, it's scarier than anything they could ever write. So,
well, yeah, because your brain instantly goes to, rather than sort of just going like, oh, I can see that, your brain just goes, hey, what is the worst possible thing that could be happening right now? And you just go, okay, yeah, no, that'd be horrible. Man, this is a scary film. And also, it saves a lot of budget on CGI.
Which is handy. There's a little bit, and there's...
I feel like most of the mist is CGI.
Yeah. That's true. I did have a bit of an issue with like the visual effects. I was like, well, it does look good, but you know, what can you do?
I think what I quite liked about the mist is that it just looked like, it's obviously not a natural thing, but like it just looked sort of so warped when it was in like the skyline. You're just going like, that is not normal in lots of different ways, but it just kind of looked a bit sort of because it was just kind of looked like it had just been placed on there. It was a bit like, I don't think that's right. Also, the show's called The Mist, so I feel like that is the plot.
Here's a few issues that I had with it. I didn't like anyone, like, at all.
No,
So,
I don't think there was anyone that
I didn't give a shit.
yeah, there's no one. I'm not really rooting for anyone.
No.
If anything, I just kind of want them all to die and then just be like. And then for some other character to turn up and be like, what the hell happened here? After the mist is gone, and they're just like, this town. And then it'd just be like an urban myth of like the town that went nuts and everybody died.
That would be a really bad title.
Yeah, I mean, they'd probably make it more punchy, but.
Yeah, no, I struggled with this one a bit because the film is so good. That's something I'm beginning to wonder, because I know we've got a lot of horror TV shows coming up, but in my experience with horror, it's sort of the punchier the better. And
I think a horror
film
TV
is
show is a
not.
very hard thing to do.
It'd be a hard thing to keep up any level of sort of tension and almost, I guess, like the threat of consequence. It would be difficult to keep up the suspense and, you know.
Yeah, I think suspense would be the hardest thing to maintain, because you can't sort of go for an hour and just be like, okay, this whole episode is just building suspense, and then it ends and you go, okay, cool, I'll watch the next episode next week. And you've got a whole week to forget about the suspense.
Yeah.
It works. I'm not sure. Is this a Netflix original?
I think it is, yeah.
If
Oh no, sorry, it was made by Spike, who do good stuff actually.
I'd be interested to know if they sort of just dumped it all at once, or because if it was a weekly, I think, because didn't Netflix did Scream, didn't they?
Yes.
And I think they dumped that all at once. But then Scream's kind of in that sort of weird place of like, it's a bit light-hearted for a horror film, TV show.
I guess because it's aping horror, it's like just taking the piss a bit, and you know, Netflix sort of stuff. Like in Scream, I remember there being a series of episodes where there's a character who she comes in and she's doing a podcast, and it's about like the murders going on in Scream, and it's basically a piss take of Serial. So I think it was more like, you know, just taking the piss a bit out of pop culture at the time, as well as trying to be, you know. But I guess I can sort of see, like, I get if it depends how much they stick to, you know, the original book and the film, because in the film there's a sequence where there's a character who's very, very religious, like fiercely so, and then she begins to turn the whole group against the main characters, because she's saying like, oh, this is it's a religious sort of test or a punishment or something. So then she manages to create this little cult in
Would that be against the
short time they're in.
teacher who's just kind of like...
I guess, yeah, it would be and the guy looks like Oscar Isaac but isn't Oscar Isaac.
Ah, yes.
Oh, but I see what you mean about it, like she's been fired, hasn't she, in the show for giving sex education or something.
The thing is, I imagine that sounds like something that might have been just like straight out of the book.
Well, again, I've not read the book. I've only seen the film. I don't remember that being.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the whole. Because I forgot that there was a whole bit before the mist came down. Like, probably about half an episode that I just sort of written off as like, that was like a 5-minute bit.
I guess you don't need it to be that long, do you? It's like, okay, we know the mist is coming.
No, and also I guess they're sort of trying to make you go, hey, these characters have some
Lives.
stuff.
Yeah, care about these people.
But yeah, no, I couldn't. I couldn't care about any of them. Like, I feel bad for some of the characters, but
yeah, the one character,
I think the daughter of probably the main couple. I think.
What's the name of the other? I even want to. I'm trying to be careful of calling them a guy or a girl because they identify that they fall in love with people for their personality and don't see gender. So I don't know if then they don't assign a gender to themselves.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, there's.
I think.
What's his name? Adrian. Okay, well, Adrian. I'm going to assume Adrian is at the male version. He's at the dinner table, and he says, "Can I get down from the table?" And his dad just looks at him and then just looks away. And he's like, "Can I leave, please?" And his dad just fucks off. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And his mum goes, "Oh, your dad can't talk to you when you got makeup on." That I felt like, okay, well, your dad's a prick and needs to die.
Yeah, and he probably will.
Yeah, because that's the horror films are quite often morality tales. If you do something wrong, you get killed.
The thing I feel like, with Adrian and Alex, I feel like there's, because of that whole, they went to a party, she blacked out, and was raped by someone.
Well, they said it's maybe not. That's the thing. As soon as they said, she said, so this guy knows what happened. I was like, well, does he? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe because you were drunk and you don't know that it wasn't consensual.
I mean, I think if you're as drunk as she was.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is perhaps it's not quite, it wasn't forceful. It was, you made a mistake while you were drunk, but they didn't force themselves on you.
Yeah, I also think that I think there's more to it from maybe Adrian's point of view.
Yeah, because the fact that she said he knows what happened and then he's not said anything.
Yeah, because but the thing is, I
didn't care. That's the trouble.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's a really sad story that you're just like, I wish I cared more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm also probably not going to watch any more of it.
No, I don't think I'm gonna. Because the film's so good, and it's so worth watching that you might as well just watch that.
Yeah. I think I might, because the story seems interesting, it's just...
Yeah. I mean, but...
I don't care about this set of characters.
It definitely could be, but like you say, they're all very cold. I didn't believe anyone. That's the thing. That's why I realised it. I didn't actually believe anyone was, convinced of what they were saying. I was
the tension between the two parents seems so
thin.
Like, it seems like they argue for the sake of arguing, and no more. Because like, she says, "You're not going to the party," and the dad just goes and just goes, "Wait, your mum's asleep. Sneak out. I don't care." And she comes back. And she's like, "You know that party I went to? Got raped." And then instantly the mum's just like, "This is all your fault."
Yeah, that was a little harsh, I thought.
But I mean, also, yeah, again, still just... I wish I could care about at least one of the characters.
Yeah, but I just apart from maybe the dog that gets killed.
Yeah, but I feel like the whole police station bit is just assembling like this whole core like ragtag bunch of people who are being set up to be heroes.
Yeah.
And I was just I was watching that, I was like, wait, I've seen this before in every video game ever. It's basically Left 4 Dead. Just, here are 4 characters. They have nothing in common. But they're your heroes. Off you fuck into the mist.
I this is the trouble, is I'm really struggling. But you know, we're getting Castle Rock later this year, which is the Stephen King TV show, which would be, hopefully that'll be good. I really don't want them to screw it up. But you know, there's definitely better Stephen King stories. There's better fucking versions of this particular Stephen King story.
Yeah, I think there are just some things that probably just don't translate into TV shows very well. But
never mind.
Something that I enjoyed more as a TV show, Riverdale.
Yes. Go on then. Start us off.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, instantly they're just like, this kid's been murdered. And that's the start that I love to a TV show, where they just go...
You love it when someone's dead.
Well, no, I like a show to open and just go, here's the mystery we're trying to solve. And I like that as just sort of like a... It makes it seem very simple at the beginning, because you're just like, okay, cool. See this guy? This guy's dead. This is his sister. She's a bitch. She might have had something to do with it. We don't know.
I think she probably has something to do with it.
Do you know, I feel kind of that literally any of the characters we've been introduced to could have done it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right there.
Because, I mean, throughout the first episode they start setting up. I think the only person who might not have done it is Veronica.
Hang on, I'm having to remind myself of who Veronica is. Oh, yeah. What, because she...
Because she wasn't there.
Yeah. But that's the perfect alibi.
It is. I mean, it's normally
that's why she did it.
It's normally the minimum your alibi has to be. Just like yeah, but I wasn't there.
I find it so. This is something weird that we've just looked at, and it's this is all based on Archie comics. So I thought Archie comics was like basically like Tintin.
No, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is an Archie Comics character.
Really?
And apparently she might be coming to the TV show at some point.
What, Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Yeah. Might be coming into Riverdale?
Yeah.
But she's a witch.
They could add supernatural stuff. Not everyone in Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a witch. Some of them were witch hunters. Or muggles. There was also lots of muggles. Oh, mortals, that's what they called them in Sabrina. Not muggles.
I really like that in Riverdale it's all already happened. All the main events of the show, they've already happened and they're dealing with the consequence, so it's like that. You know, they all keep going about, oh, you know, this one summer everything happened, and I don't understand why, but something about films or stories with you know, young kids or adolescents, teenagers, whatever, over a summer, they really speak to me for some reason. Like, you know, It and Stand By Me. More
and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I haven't actually seen that.
Oh, you should. I think it's exactly the sort of thing you've just said you would like.
Oh, okay. I'll have to give it a go. It's been... I'm aware of it ish, but I have not watched it or anything. Something else I don't know I like about this is it's like the most melodramatic teen angsty thing. that you can think of. Every person is the most beautiful person you've ever seen, and all their problems are like sort of hysterically difficult. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just everyone looks perfect, and everyone's problems are the most exaggerated they could be.
Yeah, and they seem to take. It's weird because I've long forgotten what it's like to be a teenager.
Well, it was about 20 years ago for you.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I don't remember school being this dramatic.
No.
But then also maybe there's a difference between British schools and American schools.
There probably is, because they call it firing ranges.
What, school? Damn.
You know how you said it's using the stuff in Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
I didn't spot a single part of it that I recognised from Gilmore Girls.
I think it's some of like the wider shots. I'd imagine they'd probably style up to not look like the same set.
Yeah. Okay. So what is it?
It's like the actual town.
Buildings. Or?
Yeah,
Right,
you can see
okay.
like the church and stuff is all the same. I don't think, because I've watched the next episode. I say watched. I had the next episode on while I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of shots in that where I was like, ah. But I actually quite like this.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much. When I realised what it was, I was like, this is going to be a bit, and just a bit too much. Like,
I thought
there's a point like everyone speaks in cliches. Like, there's a bit where Veronica goes up to, is it what's the other Blossom kid? Cheryl. He goes up to her and says, "Oh, Cheryl, you think you're fire? Well, I'm ice," and it's all very like. Again, melodramatic.
In that moment, my brain just went, they should write a song.
Sorry, I had a proper coughing fit then.
Yeah, I think when it first opened, I was like, oh cool, a mystery. But then it seemed to sort of skip past that and just be like, hey look, girl likes boy. Boy suddenly over the summer has abs. And I was just like, oh god, no. But then as it started revealing I guess more layers to each character, and sort of going like, well hey, that guy that she likes secretly has a relationship with his teacher, and it's like interesting. And they had a gunshot by the river. I was like, ooh.
I did really like that actually, the fact that it slowly reveals bits and pieces to you. That I really like.
Yeah. And I like that for the whole thing there, just sort of like, for the whole first episode, everyone's just like, oh, it was a horrible accident. And then at the end, it's just like, oh, this dude was shot in the head. And it's like, oh, okay. That gunshot seems important now.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked it a lot more than I thought it was gonna. Like, there was points where I was like, oh, I'm really not sure about this. And I was like, oh, no, actually, it's pretty fucking good.
It's one of those shows that's like just a pleasant surprise when you're like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. So I think I might carry on watching this. I don't know when, but at some point.
Luckily, it's only I think 13 episodes at the moment, because this is actually, for shows that we talk about on the podcast, surprisingly new.
Surprisingly current. Yeah, it only came out last year, didn't it?
Yeah, last January.
Series 2 is going up at the minute, I think.
But yeah, the thing is, there's not much. I guess I like that it's just this sort of perfect little ideal town.
Yeah.
Probably why they used the Gilmore Girls set, because that's a perfect little town. But everyone has some sort of secret.
Yeah.
Even Betty's family have this whole maybe there's a history of mental instability in that family. Because her sister dated this Jason kid who's been shot in the head. And now she's sort of mental and somewhere else.
We haven't seen her yet, though, have we? Not in the pilot. She doesn't show up.
No. I think she's mentioned in the pilot.
Yeah,
It's
she's
being a bit
because
cray.
her mum finds out that I can't remember where there was. She
Oh, she becomes a cheerleader.
Yeah, with the sister of the person who. But yeah, that makes sense. I completely forgotten what my next point was. I had thought of something. That's it. There's other bits I like that. You know, you've seen a lot of high school stuff by this point, and there was points where like, it's Archie, isn't it? When he realizes that he doesn't want to play football, he wants to pursue a career in music, but feels like he's under pressure from his dad to take over his dad's business, and he makes a big deal about it, and he finally tells his dad, and his dad's like, okay, fine, and you're expecting him to go like, no, you're a good football player, you're going to play football and take over my business, that's what I want for you, but he's just so like, yeah, great, go play music then. I really liked that. I really liked that it sort of, you know, went against the grain in that.
Yeah, it's quite nice because it feels like such sort of like a place that's kind of out of time, in that like everything feels kind of like older, but it's so modern. If that makes sense, like
yeah, completely.
But no, I quite like that guy that you meet at the end, one of Archie's other friends.
Yeah.
The guy in the
I can't
diner.
think of his name. Yep.
He's just like, yep, I'm gonna write a book, and then he starts like, I guess to become the narrator of the show.
Yeah, Jughead, they call him. Forsyth Jughead Jones.
Which I find kind of weird, because they go through this whole episode with no narrator, and then right at the end they're like, hey, by the way, narrator. And it's like, oh, okay.
I don't know, I like that they do that. Like, he's sort of... It just shows that he is there and present, but it's almost like he's on our side and he's watching it happen with us.
Yeah, no, I like that they left it to the end, but it was just a bit sort of different. I don't think I've seen a show do that before.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see a film do it. Just at the end of like a 3-hour film, just like, hey, also I'm a narrator now. But no, I think Once Upon a Time did something sort of similar to that, where they're like halfway through the run, like so season 3, they introduce a character called the Author, who just writes fairy stories and can make them come true.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool. It becomes like a fairly major plot point. And I remember you said you wanted to watch it, so I'm not going to mention.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to carry on with that. I might, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much out of Gilmore Girls now, so...
Well, we've still got, I think, an hour of the last film to do. We still haven't finished it. I want to finish that soon, though, so...
But yeah, I will probably watch the rest of Riverdale, and then see how I feel after season 1.
I think I'll probably finish series 1. I think.
But yeah, The Mist, I'll probably just watch the film.
Yeah, do that. It's much better.
Cool. I think we're pretty much done.
That's cool, because next week we have a pilot for one of my favourite shows of the last few years, which is Atlanta, which is fucking brilliant. But it can't go in my top 5, obviously, because I've already seen it. And Legit, which is Jim Jeffries' sitcom, which was cancelled after, I think, two series. But that's good. That's an enjoyable one. Have you seen either of those?
I think I've seen the first episode of Legit.
Oh, okay, cool. So you haven't seen Atlanta?
Nah.
Oh, I'm excited for you to watch Atlanta, because it honestly is so good.
Yeah, but what if I don't like it?
Well, you're a twat.
Okay.
Cool.
That doesn't seem that bad.
Alright, cool. Well, cheers for listening, if you have. Yeah, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you get good padlocks on all your possessions.
Don't go into the mist.
Don't go into the mist. Yeah, and if you hear a gunshot, report it.
Even if you're banging a teacher.
Yeah. Good bike.